So this is Staffan Liback here from Bangkok, the founder of the concept. It's been some amazing last months. We had an amazing event here in Bangkok. It's a few weeks back now. What does it start to be? It starts to be a month actually soon. And a lot of things has happened, as you know. I still feel that it's needed a lot of information out to the field, because every day I'm having the same situation that some of you guys are sending me a message that, oh, what about these things? And it's actually been going out in a newsletter already. And also the people that were here in Bangkok, here in Thailand and on Koh Chang also got a lot of updates about the new tokenization, what's going on there. They got a lot of updates about also things that will be going on the next months. We have Frank Ricketts, the CEO of Cloud Horizon, and behind all the machinery, so to say, on that side. All the things that has to do, with the operational stuff for the network, but also for something that will be really, really important to understand over the next days, but especially weeks. Because I think that you guys are aware of, most of you, and if you are not, Frank will for sure take it up, what comes to the new platform that is being built and so on, that mainly then will lead into Ecovo. And also, just to mention for you guys, there are, as far as I know, an update of the compensation plan in the back office already. As far as I know, if you can't find it, let your upline know so they can supply it for you. Very important, because there are important elements in this compensation plan that you really, really, really need to understand. Why? Because it's leading up to the event rounds, okay? It's leading up to the event rounds in South America. It's leading up to the event rounds in Europe. It's leading also up to the event rounds that will also touch Russia, okay? But also Asia, and all the way to Tahiti on the 9th of May, if I remember correctly. So we are actually, even if we are a very, very young company, we are already spanning the globe. And that says something about what we are doing, about the concept, about how this is touching people that really, really have a course-driven business, course-driven concept that not only is about, making money as an affiliate or about a specific product or something. No, but about something that concerns us all. A better place for us to live on this globe, but also for future generations. So we are very happy with, what we've been experiencing in a year, a little bit of a year on top now. Also the troubles that we had that made us realize that some tweaks were needed. Okay, Jay will speak about that a bit. Mr. Jussi Saloranta, that is the head of the development arm of those things, the Eco Innovation Department of Social, which is very important to understand that yes, we are dealing with plastic today, plastic to fuel, erasing the plastic and getting fuel out of it. And just to mention one thing, I stumbled upon Reuters, news, that came out the last days. Guys, actually, eco-fuel, biofuel has spiked up with 25% in the United States last week, I think it was actually. And that says that we are in the right industry. That says that people care about not only what product they have in their hand and turning it around, but the social capital behind it, and also where it comes from. Who makes it, how does it originate, and how sustainable is it for the future. Okay, so that is good to know. And also, I mentioned about the compensation plan. One very important element that you need to really take a look at, on top of that, we now have 5 generations of Unilevel that you can participate in when you qualify in a one-time qualification. That's pretty cool to have 5 generations of Unilevel. But on top of that, Infinity bonus increased to up to 6%. Already when you start hitting stars, you can participate in a very cool thing, kind of a binary element, where you can have as many legs as you want, but without the cap of a normal binary, infinity. And that's pretty cool. But the foremost important thing that we saw in the updates that came and the news that we were releasing was actually, in my opinion, placement sponsoring. Okay? Why? Many of you guys have maybe not realized, and I want to really emphasize this one now before I'm handing over to Jay here. What comes to then, the development of the machinery, acquiring of the machinery, and sites and plastic to fuel and so on. Guys, we are now approaching event rounds. And I believe that I'm correct in stating that most of you guys don't have the financial possibility to participate in all of the events. Go all over Europe, and you shouldn't, because you should build your business locally. We have in our business now, we have an element that is totally new in the industry of network marketing, an industry that is more than 100 years old. I believe that the cross-line placement, the placement sponsoring in itself, you being able to enroll a person on your first line, but move that person, so somebody that is local, a good leader, wherever in the organization of Amplivo, wherever, cross-line, your organization, any levels, you are able to place that person that you contact on the first level of any person in the organization of Amplivo, and still receive 50% of the commissions. First purchase, 100%, but 50% of the future purchases, including the organization that is built. That is pretty crazy, and I will explain to you why, so you really get this concept. A big before solution in network marketing has always been something that is called cross-recruiting, which is really, really bad, and it's the cancer of the industry. People tend to, I'm going to be your new mom, your new daddy, like Frank says, on events walking around, and maybe you can get a better, result in my business. Then please move to my business. This is something that I believe, and I'm convinced that when we get it together and we learn to earn with it and we learn to emphasize how it can be done, we can totally kill that concept. Okay? Because it becomes so important for all of us, okay, to behave in a proper way, to grow our social capital of learning and being the best who we can be as a mentor, as a sponsor, as a teacher, as a leader and motivator for our organization, but also for our future and maybe organization. Because think about it. Let's say that you are hosting an event in, let's say, Amsterdam, okay? You are the leader in Amsterdam, you're building it up, and you're the person that, that pushes the most, helps the people the most, and so on. Do you agree with me if I state that the other people in the Amplivo network will look at you? Okay? No matter if it's in your upline, your crossline, your downline, and so on. And when you are doing a great job, all the other people, all the other people in the network, when it comes to functions and business in Netherlands, in Holland, they have the possibility to get you to be the placement sponsor of these people that they are enrolling. How cool is that? How cool is that? To be able to effectivize the network. So this was one of the elements, and I really hope that you're getting this concept, because it can revolutionize your business. It can simply revolutionize your business in so many ways that it can really boost up your business and get it into momentum. So this is one thing. So now it's really, really important for you guys not to only think that, okay, where am I going to participate on what event in Europe, in South America, in Asia, but who do I know? Who do I know in the areas where the events will be held? So I can get a person interested, get that person registered, and get that person to participate on the event with the new placement sponsor. How cool is that? So take that into consideration, because I truly believe that you, and together with your network and your future network, will be able to grow at least double, probably up 10 times, maybe even faster than a normal network. So this is very exciting for me, okay? I will personally also be on the event round in Europe. Frank will mention what is already in the back office, if you don't know it so far, what is coming and so on. And we will have a fantastic event rounds with some really, really, really cool news and actually announcements that happens on these event rounds. So I hope you guys are ready. I will hand over here to Mr. Jussi Saloranta from the Eco Development Arm, and he's also the CEO of the newly founded company. He will brief you about that. So he's in charge of pushing that project forward. And I want to remind you before I hand over here that for the one stars and up, there is a call also at 1 p.m. CET, where we continue on the last call that we had last Saturday. So thank you for me, and I will handing over here now to Mr. Jussi Saloranta.
Hello, ladies and gentlemen, all over the world. First of all, thank you, Staffan, for opening this call. I'm going to go straight to the point, so to say, and I want to provide you guys a lineup of details and the most important information, which I believe is important for you to have in your toolbox when we are all working forward in our business. And as Staffan mentioned, we have recently established the Socium Development Company as the arm of future innovations and eco-energy projects for Socium Holdings. And now that company and that operation is taking place. Some of you have been with me already in the last couple of weeks in a few of the update calls that I've done. So some of the information that I'm going to go through here today might be a little bit of a repeat for you, but I'm assuming that for most of the people in the call, a lot of this is new information as well. So basically, to summarize things in the most simplest way, Socium Development Company is the department in the Socium Holdings and the group of companies which is now focusing on developing these waste-to-fuel operations in different locations. We have, as a company and as a group of companies, an in-house operator and an engineering company called SEPCO Industries, which is going to focus on building the Polypetron Generation 5 machines. There are, as many of you have been aware, there's been some challenges with that technology, and we continue to support the technical team to overcome whatever challenges that they have had, and hopefully we can reach the targets with the Polypetron Generation 5 as they have been set in the past. In the meantime, and in parallel with the Polypetron Generation 5, we have also created now partnerships with other manufacturers and technology suppliers that we're going to be using in these operations. So, as you most probably are aware, approximately 1 month ago, the new business model was released, where we are now looking at using suppliers of technologies from different manufacturers, which we can use in different project locations. And I want to highlight this for you guys, as it has been mentioned several times over the last approximately 18 months, that we as a company, as Socium or SEPCO Industries, we are not in the machinery manufacturing business. We are in the business of converting plastic waste into fuel, in selling oil, and trading plastic waste raw material. Those are the 3 areas of business that we are involved with. And those are the areas that we're going to be focusing more and more in the future as well. So I've used this example before, and I think it's very important before we move forward, just to everybody to be on the same understanding of this. Because when we're looking at this operation of setting up the machinery and the whole operation in full, there's a lot that goes into it. And people sometimes mistakenly think that we just get a machine, we put it on an empty landfill somewhere or an empty field, and suddenly we're in business. Well, it's pretty much the same as we would be opening an Italian restaurant. The pizza oven is just one part of the restaurant. Yes, we need the pizza oven to run an Italian restaurant, but we also need many other things aside that. We need to have the location, we need to have the staff, we need to have a manager, we need to have furniture, we need to have cutleries, wine glasses, knives and forks and whatnot. So the pizza oven is a big element of the restaurant, but it's not the only element. And we have decided that in order for us to be able to always be able to utilize the most advanced, the easiest available, and the most soundproof technologies that we can find from the market, we need to be working together with multiple suppliers of technologies, not only limit ourselves into one supplier. So our business model, to simplify things, is to look for locations around the world, to select the best available project sites, to negotiate the contract either with, for example, a local city government or a private owner of that location, and then to bring in all the needed project partners involved. Those are raw material suppliers, technology suppliers, buyers of the fuel, and so on and so on. So this is what we're doing. And this is also the area where we as a social development will be focusing entirely now in the future. Now, what is happening at the moment, and where are we now in approximately 4 weeks when this business model was launched? We are in a, we are in a signing stage of several agreements which have been prepared over the last weeks. And these agreements are going to identify and they are going to specify our targets for 2020. Now, our objective as a company is to have operations within this year in Thailand, as you are all aware, but aside from that, in at least one, most probably in 2 European countries as well. So our target for this year is to be operational by the end of the year in 3 separate countries. And in these locations, we are going to be using multiple technologies. We are going to start the operations by using smaller units, which allows us to launch the operations with less capital investment than what has been the situation in the past with, for example, the Polypetron Generation 5s. So in order to start the operations, we are no longer looking at 4 million, 5 million euro budgets. We are able to go with approximately half or even less than that, depending on the location. And this will speed up our expansion rate in a way that we can all just right now imagine about. So this is going to get us to an expressway of expansion to move things forward in a more faster pace and be able to open up these locations in different areas around the world more faster than we have ever dreamed before. Now, Thailand is obviously our backyard, and this is the area where we're going to be focusing first. We are right now, as I mentioned, in a state of signing an agreement which is going to involve several important partners, and we're looking forward to be announcing these partners for you guys and for the market in the next coming couple of weeks. And this, if all works in a way that we're working them to work at the moment, should see us having a very, very impressive location in the capital city, Bangkok area. Now, the machines that we're going to be using in this area have been decided to come from 2 suppliers. So we are also going to be using this location as a testing ground where we can try out and test a few of these different technologies that we've been dealing with. The oil production, which is obviously important question from everyone, when is it going to take place? We will be able to give you a more specific update on all of these steps that we're taking when we have a full delivery schedule available from the manufacturers. But we are looking right now approximately 75 days, within 75 days, to have this operational site up and running. We have a few very important and very interesting opportunities that we can utilize as well. And this might allow us to get operation going potentially even in half of that time. But to be realistic, as we've said before, a lot of the technologies that are used, they have a realistic manufacturing time, which is usually approximately 2 to 3 months. And this is what we need to be dealing with. But we are using right now all of our resources to move things forward in the fastest possible scale. And we're going to have operations ongoing here in Thailand and in Europe. Now, when we look at our overall targets, and I know that there's also people in this call that have approached me and our team lately about explaining that we have operations and potential operations that we could start in different continents around the world. That is great, but we want to keep a very, very tight focus on the areas that and the tasks that we really need to get done right now. Number one, our most important priority is to get the operations up and running here in Thailand, and immediately after that, start using that model to multiply into different locations. And by doing this with smaller machinery, which would be able to produce somewhere approximately 1.5 million liters, for example, on an annual basis, we are able to scale up the operations as we go along. So we can launch an operation with lesser capital investments and then add more of these units to increase that production. So I hope that makes sense for you guys. We are also at the moment, we are establishing our team inside the company, which we're going to be able to announce for you in more detail in the coming week. And I'm sure that you're going to be happy to see the progress that we're going to be taking. And if there's anyone who has a doubt in their mind, if oil is going to be produced or what is going to happen over here, I can guarantee for you that we're going to see a great future for Socium Development, the Socium Group, for Cloud Horizon, for all of the companies involved in this group of companies and this concept. And most importantly, we're going to be able to create a very healthy demand for the token and increase its value by producing an oil that we're going to be selling in an international fuel markets. Now, that's where we are at the moment. Would there be anything else that maybe Staffan, maybe Frank, you would like me to specifically mention? That's the update from me over the last couple of weeks. Want to join in?
Yes. So, exciting times. I will not waste time. I would like to introduce the next that I think everybody is excited to hear the news from. And we all know him very well. Most of you, I hope, have seen him also live at the events. And truly, I want to mention Frank been with me the last week here. He came down, was it Monday? Yeah, Monday. Monday, actually, afternoon. We met up, obviously, directly. in the evening already. And this week been fantastic also with meetings regarding to every single element in the business. Everything from the new things that will be launched very soon. It looks like on the event rounds, but Frank will maybe hint something on that. And also what comes to the platform, the new platform that I think you are aware of that will come up. Frank will maybe mention something about that. But in general, just, getting the synergy, sitting together, working out of the same place, long days, long nights, with very little sleep. And Frank is showing like this, banging with a baseball bat, mostly me in the head. But that's all good. That's all good because that's what it's all about, the synergy with working together and learning from each other. And I call tough love, hitting people with a baseball bat in the head, but having some cotton on it also. That's what it's all about, to get better. To get better on what we do. And I've been posting also, and we will be posting more elements of trainings and so on. And that is really the thing, I think, with networking and so on. But everything that we learn to actually not just pass. Okay? Don't focus on just passing to know something, the details, small, things, maybe a little bit here and there. Focus on becoming better. And, ladies and gentlemen, especially in this industry, it is all about repetition and emotional involvement, and about knowing what you speak about and knowing how to present the business and so on. And without the information, without knowing where we're going, that is very difficult. So, ladies and gentlemen, I would like to hand over to the next for this call, our CEO and Mr. Frank Ricketts.
Yeah. Yeah, it's like musical chairs here. Okay, good morning. Very early morning for some of you over in South America. I'm getting ready to actually fly back to Europe in about 5 hours' time. But I'm glad I could get on this call and give you some updates of where we're at. I think, without a doubt, starting with Jay was extremely important. And as Staffan has said, we've worked on all areas of the overall concept with some really long days, long nights. We've come quite a long way, as reported from Jay. And I think, as we said at the various events, Koh Chang and then Bangkok, but also some meetings where I was at in Europe and on calls, is that what has happened in the past has given us a great opportunity to assess and deal with things on a broader basis, improving the whole concept so much more. So we without a doubt, much farther this time round as we were when we started Cloud Horizon in December 2018. Unfortunately, we cannot announce that we're in oil production tomorrow, but we can now count the weeks. We don't even have to count the months anymore. And unfortunately, it is how it is, but it is positive because, as you just heard from Jay, we can get up and running with our investment as Cloud Horizon, but also with private equity, get these projects started, and can always, as Jay explained, move these projects to another level regarding capacity, production, etc., etc. And that will always be a key element to get up and running with 2-3 machines. Possibly, just one particular type, but our idea is, as Jay said, to have a couple of machines working next to each other, and over time, and that will take months, maybe even a year, to establish, one against the other, input, output, maintenance, and all those sort of things. So that's what Socium development is all about, and that is really a massive leap forward with the overall concept. So I'd like to get down to Cloud Horizon stuff, and I was reading some things here which I've jotted down for you. But the comp plan has been in the back office now for about a week. So get in there, get to look at that. I've received from some of you translated versions of this. And when I get back to Europe, I get back tomorrow midday. And on Monday, I have it on the agenda to pass on to our IT to also get the translated versions into the back office as well for you. So, and I appreciate and I'm very grateful for those of you who've already translated. I know I've got the French, Italian, I believe I've got the Swedish as well. So they will all be coming up into the back office over the first couple of days of next week. Regarding events and upcoming events, what we've managed to do is with the leadership that we do have 3, i.e. 4 events already finalized and closed. I know the dates and everything else are there on the agenda, but obviously I'm not putting anything into the back office until I get the green light that all contracts with the locations, et cetera, have been finalized. And then I'm putting them in the back office as we go along. At the moment, you have in the back office France, Italy, and Holland. I think Sweden is going in on Monday or Tuesday. And I'm waiting for the other leadership and the various locations. But I think we'll get quite a number of them coming in this coming week. Stefan and I went through our schedules actually yesterday and defined that we will be splitting up for a number of reasons. We can cover much more ground so much quicker. And in fact, we do have some events happening on the same weekend or even on the same day in various countries. So as we go along, we will, in the global leadership group, give you the agendas for the flyers. We'll help you out, letting you know who is where. All right. So I'm asking the leadership then to get in touch with me accordingly as your locations are being finalized, the contracts of locations being finalized. I can let you know for flyers who are going or who from us is going to be there. Okay. We also have things with South America. The actual total Latin South American tour has been moved around a little bit. Obviously, there was Carnival where the whole of Europe and especially South America, Latin America, sort of closed down for 4 days. But as that comes along and we have locations finalized country-wise, that will also be put in newsletters so that you can then use the placement sponsorship. We'll give you names and one thing and another. And we'll do this obviously for Europe so that people can with confidence send guests to other cities, to other countries, to other continents. And we will be extremely, aware of what's going on there. But I'll do this all in the newsletter to you, that we have a process so that we also know as a company who you're sending where, so that, we can just check and make sure that everything is how it should be for you, et cetera, et cetera. All right. And this is something that's going to be tremendously development with calendar and this and that, and a really fixed process. It is a high priority to the whole placement sponsorship and being able to do that. But believe me, right now as a company, it's not the highest priority to get that sort of functioning automatic into your back office. But believe me, it will happen. So I say tickets are in the back office for the 3 countries I just mentioned to you. Next week, there's also Argentina and Chile on the 7th of March, Argentina, and on the 9th, Chile events happening. And I'll get that once I get the final details from Alejandro. I'll get that to you in the leadership group room, okay? i.e. the global room. I'd like to get on to a very tedious task that we've been having, and that is awarding people, awarding members with ORTP, i.e. what we're awarding the SUM and the ISFs, okay? So it is a very tedious, and it's tedious because a large number of individuals, are doing these sort of things on a day-to-day, week-to-week, or even a month-to-month basis. And, we get so many tickets coming in asking us to award individuals with ISF and send the ISF to the company's wallet. They're sending us what we call the feeder wallet. And they've picked up that wallet somewhere, and they're asking us to do that rather than send to their own personal wallet. And that's just one of the challenges, understanding and the handling of this sort of stuff. And I can tell you right now that we have actually confirmed about 1,300 individuals for awarding them with SUM, i.e. with ISF. And we spent a couple of hours yesterday with our CTO, Wayne Dobson, and I think I can lean out the window and say the latest coming Tuesday, the first 1,300 people will actually have their SUM, i.e. ISF award in the wallets they provided. Again, I'd like to say it is a very tedious process. A lot of people think it's not necessary, the process we're doing, but there are a lot of compliance reasons on this. And we really have to make sure that we are awarding the individual with the right amount to the right wallet. And unfortunately, we are getting a number of tickets coming in, people requesting awards, and they don't have any ORT as far as the blockchain is saying on the 24th of January. And I'd like to repeat again, because we're getting a lot of tickets saying, well, I did this on the 8th of February and I did this on the 12th of February. Unfortunately, there's nothing we can do about that. We had and made it very, very clear that we have to make a cut. And that was the 24th of January when we made a screenshot of the blockchain. Relating to this, I'd also like to make it very, very clear, I don't know, maybe for the 20th time this year, that Cloud Horizon has no relationship in any manner, never had in any manner, with the company Eltron X. And a lot of people are misunderstanding, unfortunately, due to certain statements made from others. But I made it very, very clear publicly and openly that at the beginning of the year, we as a consortium were informed that to release the assets, etc., of Eltron X, that we need to take over the cost of the Google servers, which I did and paid with my credit card personally to ensure that that happens. Unfortunately, even till today, there's no assets have ever been passed on, no ownership of the company and its accounts and assets have ever been passed on in any manner. We should not make the mistake where a couple of people are trying to indicate taking over ownership of hosting the server is not taking over ownership of a company, its assets, its accounts, or anything else, or its liabilities. If I hadn't have done that, under the belief that assets were going to be made free, there wouldn't have been anything. Unfortunately, they're not releasing that, and there's nothing I can do about it. It's just that simple. Then, at the beginning of the week, suddenly the whole website went down, even though I paid for the Google servers, because the company, Eltronex, has not been paying its bills to its operators and service company. So, they just closed it. Yesterday, I was talking with these people and I can assure you, due to certain relationships and, taking all sort of credit points I have with various people, is that they have agreed to open up the Eltronex website again for a month. And to do that, I paid yesterday again for the Google servers on my name to be able to do that. So I got a message before getting on this call that it is estimated that will take until Tuesday before that is finalized, because it's, again, not just putting a switch on, there are various things. But I can assure you, I have paid personally to Google for the Google servers for the month of February and also for the month of March, ending 31st of March. Any of you who maintained wallets with Eltronex or anything else, you will be able to view what you had and one thing and another, all right? But you've got to do your thing. And don't let yourselves be, fobbed off, we say in English, well, you need to talk with Cloud Horizon, or you need to talk with Staffan, or, Frank took over the ownership. Yes, Frank took over the ownership of paying for the servers. All right? And as I've also previously said, ask them, all right, to show any documentation of a company being taken over or this or that. And unfortunately, it's another one of these big black marks against, what happened in those 4 weeks. But we must move on, guys. We have such an awesome project in our hands. We're putting all the things in place. And now it's just a question, I say now in inverted commas, of not even joining the dots. The dots are joined, but it's now putting things into operation, which we are doing. So bear with that particular situation. I've been told by Tuesday evening CET, you should be able to view the Eltronex website, your accounts, as you did before. Let's move on to more positive things. Unfortunately, we have to cover these negative things as well. But I hope you realize that we are doing everything that we can do. All right. I just, about an hour and a half ago, actually, after sending in all the paperwork on Wednesday this week, we as a company actually now have our corporate account with Mountain Wolf. And I've got the registration emails, the verification emails. We are up and running with that. For individuals then to sign up as clients, it is about 4 or 5 days behind. I'm talking working days. It was anticipated that on the 25th, our corporate accounts would be verified. That actually happened today after the paperwork went in during the week. I've been talking with the company personally before getting on this call, after actually having our account validated. And actually, I could show you that. We're on the screen. I'll just pick up my laptop and I will show you the verification emails. Just a second. Just bear with me, please. Okay, I hope you can read that. All right. All right, but you can see here, now get it right. Okay. All right. That our account has been verified, etc., etc. All right. I'll just show you the emails. And these are going to be, the sort of automated emails that you will get when you start opening up your accounts. Hold on. Okay, this is the first email one gets. Okay. As I say, this happened like a couple of hours ago after we sent in our KYC paperwork. And with us, we sent in the paperwork before because they're only now releasing it for clients and then for, regular public over the next day. So, we did a couple of things manually up front. Let me just show you the other email that then comes. Okay, well, that was it. Those were the two emails that one gets, okay? So we have our account now established. And actually, we will have multiple corporate accounts because we have various elements. And so Cloud Horizon, Cayman Islands, the contractual partner for every one of you as influencers, et cetera, that's the account. I will now open up, and I can now do that. I will open up Middle East Cloud Horizon, and we will also be opening up a company within the consortium here in Thailand, Bangkok. So we will have 3 corporate accounts spread across Europe, Middle East, and Asia. And these will be made available the minute that we can then give you guys the green light to open up your own accounts. I will make it very, very simple for everyone. Not only will I put it in text, the steps, and you get then this email, and then you do this and that. I'll then get it to the global leadership to have it translated. We will get it sent out, newsletters, we'll put it in the back office, and we'll also do a little video. But believe me, it is extremely simple to do this. And as I said, as we started talking about Mountain Wolf, they're starting from scratch. And I'm sure that, once we're up and running with this, and they anticipate by the end of next week that regular individuals will be able to open up their accounts. You'll get a reference number from us, from Cloud Horizon, because you need a reference to be able to log in, and i.e. open up an account. And we're doing everything with them that will happen by the end of the coming week. And as I say, it's about a week behind the schedule that we were given in Koh Chang. But I feel very, very confident because we now have our account, and that's got to start before everything else can start. So we're on that. And one thing I can see actually in our account, because originally there was a Euro account, a USD dollar account, and Bitcoin account. They've also added Ethereum. And what one needs to know, this is not a broker or anything else. This is a real fully pledged exchange. And I've been looking at it all, it really is an exchange with its support, with its graphics and trading and everything else. So it is very, very transparent. And as I say, I think we will have a lot of pleasure being able to use that as a company and every one of you on a global scale. So end of coming week for regular clients, and during the week, I will give you, as soon as I have updates and the possibility of giving you the green light. I think what I will do, though, before giving the green light, I'll get everything prepared with the steps that you need to do and the email that you then get, et cetera, et cetera. I'll get that all prepared and get it translated So that the second we have the green light, you already have this in your back office. You've had it in newsletters so that you can start straight away with it. Okay? Okay, let's move on. So, Akova Media, we now have some dates on the Akova Media platform. They've really been working very, very hard on this. And we have been told on the 16th of March, we will be able to have it for testing. And our CTO, he estimates, because he will test everything 10 times, okay? He estimates a week for that testing period. That doesn't mean that if one finds something and one waits until the whole testing's done. There may be tweaks and twitches here to do, etc., etc. And that will happen during that week in testing. So we sincerely believe that in the last third or the last quarter of March, we will have the Akova Media website up and working for you. You will be able to redeem your vouchers, and we will start, being able to use it as it was foreseen to do. It will not be ever 100% finished because we already have various aspects to it that will carry on once we get, the framework up but, the gamification of it all, the points, the micro points, reward points that will relate fractional to the FLP. All those things are being built into this. And of course, that will have the foundation being set for the brand new akovo.com website, the social media website, the site that will be multifunctional with various streams of revenue generating aspects to it, where also the FLP will play a big role with the merchants and everything else that goes on in there. So there is a tremendous amount of resources being put into modernizing the platform, which was created nearly 9 years ago. Originally, you've been told this, some of you may be new on the call today. So it is a complete rebuild and bringing everything up to scratch. And everything that's being done, of course, is leading edge software being interfaced with that overall software and database that has been created. So Akova Media, we will commence testing on the 16th of March, and we are very, very optimistic that in the last week of March, it will be launched and released. With this as well, we will get tutorials together and how to use aspects of it together and trainings. And we will come out with the launch and have webinars on the handling of this platform from the very first minute. Okay, agreed. We've got to get the testing done, make sure that everything is how it is, and then get webinars going in the various languages where the global leadership get trained on it, get videos on it, and get these videos out to you. Now, we're about 80% finished. There'll be some work done this evening, Staffan and myself, and also with our IT design guys, with the business presentation. We do anticipate, though, that from our end, we will be finished by tomorrow morning on it, and that the graphic design guys will then tune it all up, and that we can then give you the business presentation. I sincerely believe, and I'm looking across to Staffan, but I would believe by Monday evening, we should be able to release it as a link, and then have open versions of this going to the leadership to have translated, the same as we did with the comp plan, okay? What is important, though, with this presentation and everything else, Guys, you really must go through the materials you have of old. And for me, of old is anything before the 7th of January. Really make sure that you're not displaying on your Instagram, Facebooks, or whatever, any old material. You really need to go back and clean up your archives, your chronicles, your blogs, and everything else. Delete, because out there is extremely confusing. People are going into Facebook and they're just looking for plastic waste or something like that, and they're getting an article including this and that from summer last year. So really bring your stuff up to date. We will provide you, and we are providing you with actualities. And of course, the business presentation is extremely important to move the business forward, but it's important relating to that we are all presenting exactly the same. And it is our obligation to give you that format and that platform. But for us to really do placement sponsorship, to build momentum globally, to be able to use each other's infrastructure and leadership, we must be presenting with the same material. The only differential should be the language and nothing else. And I know some people would prefer a green background rather than a blue background. Some people prefer little pink spots on the background. But no, we really must be united in our presenting without losing one's identity and one's authenticity. All right, the speaker, the one presenting, plays a hell of a big role. But let's make sure that our material is identical. City to city, country to country, continent to continent. This is the way we will grow so much faster than any other organization can. Not just relating to the fact that, hey, if we can get 1 million followers over the next 4 weeks, we would every one of you, when you really understand it, would be so happy to have that, okay? Because that leads to this and leads to that. But then we really must be unified in our message. With that said, I come to the last point, and that is the promotion that started actually Saturday last week. And I hope every one of you has read the newsletters. It's quite surprising, actually, even from the active numbers. And we know the activity because, we can see in our back office unique logins on a daily basis, weekly basis, and it's surprising that only 50% of those who actually log into the website actually read the newsletters. I know to the very last person on a number basis of how many people even open the newsletter and read it. And it is quite amazing, actually, because, we send it out because there is a lot of information. We have global leaders actually translating it into other languages, and agreed, I don't get to see those numbers, but I also know those who have English as their language mapped. We could do a lot more. And it's as we always say, if one does not have the information, if one doesn't communicate the information, a lot of people are losing out on being able to use it as a tool. Information is a tool. I'm not talking about a promotion now. In general, the more informed you are, the more you can communicate, the more you can, really talk black and white about things. And the newsletter is a tool, same as these webinars are a tool. So we really need to emphasize to people to get this stuff, read this stuff, and to get on webinars. So the one promotion is a brand new type of promotion, and we're going to see how it goes. We backdated it, as I just said, to last Saturday. even though we only informed you yesterday afternoon, CET time, Central European time. And that is those to really build your business and build your network marketing business. And guys, girls, if we can have 100 times number of followers just joining Akovo.com and never becoming an influencer, believe me, you will all earn so much money just on people joining as followers. Believe me. All right. It's something that, we still have to do a lot of work at our end to get that across to you all. And as the merchant platform really comes up to speed and people understand the cashback program and a lot of other things, games and this and that, where people in future will be using credits to do this and to do that, you guys are going to be astonished. And I'm not one for using adjectives to get you excited about something that may happen. No, this is all in black and white, believe me. And a lot of aspects are there. And I realized when I was talking with people personally in Europe, I've been with the company for 6, 9, 12 months. And I've never, ever, ever realized there was even a cashback program available, which is pretty poor because it's absolutely free for everyone, and it's astonishing because it's an awesome tool to get people to look at things. And that's just one element. All right. So we wanted to give you something, and a lot of thought went into, we need to build, and every one of us, we need to build. We as a company need to build. Every one of you as individuals need to build, and we need the tools to do it. We believe this new promotion, new type of promotion, giving someone the opportunity to sign up as a follower, become a supporter, and then make a decision to become an influencer. And to become an influencer, not to put any barrier up there with this promotion. This is what this is about. And the barrier, without a doubt, is, having to purchase a business license. There's a lot of compliance reasons for this, all right? And, of course, the one-time administration fee. So, as written in the newsletter yesterday afternoon that went out, anyone, any supporter who makes a decision to become an influencer can send a ticket to support, as described in the newsletter, and request absolutely free his business license and one-time administration fee. And that will be sent out to that individual as described in the newsletter as a reply to his request that she made as a ticket. We have generated yesterday in preparation that all the support girls all have their own personal spreadsheet with hundreds of gift codes already generated. So as they get the ticket, they can reply instantly to that ticket. When I say instantly, the minute they open the ticket. And I know in the past, when I'd say past before the 7th of December and after the 7th of January, and specifically before 7th of December, we were answering tickets and completing tickets within 3-4 hours of you guys posting, within normal working hours, okay? And some weekends we even, had shifts working Saturday and Sunday due to specific promotions or something like that. But there is a tremendous workload, and this workload is, without a doubt, the extremely tedious award process of the ISF and the SUMs, okay? So, even at the end of the day, we've still got 400-500 tickets in the system that we haven't been able to open yet. What we have done, and I had a workshop with the girls in Bangkok yesterday, and on Monday I'll do that with the girls up in Europe, is that we have a new category in the drop-down menu when you are placing a ticket. Please use that, because the girls are instructed from morning till evening they have to work the tickets under the menu request business license. So these tickets, they have the absolute priority against all other tickets coming into the system. But if you don't use that category and then you just don't bother, you just let it run, and it comes in even as a KYC request. And believe me, we do. We get tickets under the category KYC, and someone said, I just sent you a BTC or something. So please use that drop-down menu, and we will be extremely fast on getting your business license codes to you. Now, that's for the starter. Someone who's got a starter package as a customer and wants to become an influencer. And then, as you see in the newsletter, as a bronze, purchasing a bronze or a silver package, gold or platinum, there are multiple licenses, gift codes being generated, and 50% go to the actual customer becoming an influencer. And the other 50% go to the personal sponsor. And this is to give you these licenses. And you can use these licenses as you wish. You can be sponsoring people who want to become an influencer after, becoming a follower, etc., and give them a free entry if you wish. You can also sell them. It's completely up to you, because it is money. It is without a doubt a discount. There's another way of giving you guys a discount, but it's not a discount more than it is a tool. It's a tool where you can, use it to really build your business. I mean, look at the platinum. The sponsor of a customer who decided to get a platinum, you get 16 business licenses sent to you. And the new influencer also has 16. Now, if that is not a tool to go out there, doing meetings and one-on-ones and group meetings and webinars and business presentations, where you've got that in your hand to sell, to put money in your pocket, or to even give free, to give people a kickstart there. And when you give it free, it's that individual that you gave free to who then gets a bronze package. Well, they're going to get 4 business licenses themselves, and you're going to get another 4 as well. And I believe maybe it's up to everyone. I give 1 free to someone, and I then get 4 in return. Well, for me, that's a pretty good return. And as I say, if I'm doing that then with a silver or with a gold or with a platinum, maybe that is a good way of using this promotion. So really get that out, and don't assume that everyone has read the newsletter. Don't assume that everyone knows about this. Make sure that in your own groups, talk about it. Really make people aware of what you've got here. And the second promotion that started then this morning, straight after the pay run, is 100% extra FLPs on personal redeemed purchases, i.e. on the BV. Okay? Both will end in 2 weeks' time, as stated. And I say, for me personally, if I put my network marketing hat on, it's an awesome extra income for me as a networker, as long as I'm doing something. It's an awesome tool to attract people and get people, customers, to make that jump to influencers, people who want to be an influencer from the very first minute, and. So guys, there's a lot going on. There's a lot of work for all of us. I just want to really assure you that everyone this side, I'm not going to say a fence because there is no fence between us, but this side of the line, we're really working extremely hard, and we believe without a doubt, without a moment of doubt, that the opportunity got one hell of a lot better in January this year. I can give you a number, but again, you won't notice this unless you're really working. This is an absolute fact, and I can go on record for this. We are paying 45 to 48% more in bonuses and commissions than we were at the end of 2019. I'm not talking of the amount. I'm talking the percentage for exactly the same BV. This is what putting a fourth and fifth level in the uni level plan meant. Accordingly, the matching bonus, that is not a higher percentage, but the higher percentage of payout is in that uni level, and of course, in the Affinity Star bonus. And those two things that we did, fourth and fifth level, dynamic compression, and increasing Infinity Star bonus between 33% and 66%, has increased the total commission payout as a percentage between 45 and 48% since we had the new compensation plan in place. And you know what? I am, without a doubt, at least in my career, I have not come across another payout plan, a comp plan, that really physically pays out the percentage that is paid out. There's a lot of plans that on paper, the mathematics, and say, well, you can get this, you can get this, you can get this. They all work on a tremendous high breakage. All binary plans work on a breakage by cutting out your maximum leg, so you only get paid on 30% maybe of your whole turnover, and then put a max on that as well and flush it. So when you really get into the basic mathematics of this, it's going to be extremely hard to find a plan that physically 100% pays out what paid out. But we've all got to get back up to speed again. We're giving you the tools. We know that we can, as a company, still make a minimum 20% investment on our turnover. A 20% profit investment on our turnover. And there's not many companies out there in the world, no matter what branch they are in, that are running such a tight ship when it comes to staffing, officing, without losing quality of servicing the operations, all right, that can make a 20 to 22% profit on the euro, on the US dollar. We can. And with the new project form that was explained to you from Jay, that we can get into the investing and getting these machines per project up and running so much quicker than we did when we started this whole thing. I mean, we started in December 2018, and it wasn't until 7 months later, that we had the first machine actually being installed. And the first oil did flow. Unfortunately, the oil flow got frozen very, very quickly. And we all know this. But that's not going to happen next time around. We've all been blessed that we have the opportunity to have a second go at this. And believe me, this second time around, we will make some mistakes, but never those type of mistakes again. All right? We've really got our feet on the ground, and we've got all eyes and all ears open, and we are going to move extremely fast forward, in an extremely positive manner. So I'd like to thank you all for being on this call. As I said, there is a leadership call taking place in just under an hour, I think 45 minutes, and hope to see a whole lot of you at the various events in South America, throughout Europe, throughout the months of March and April. And have a great rest of the weekend. Thanks a lot. Bye-bye.
Okay, guys, thank you for today. I hope that you guys are as excited as us. We are really looking forward to the upcoming event round. We are also looking forward to really soon be launching the new portal. It has a lot of things that I think will make you extremely excited. Yes, it will be the first version up and running with not all functions, but when we are approaching towards the summer, it will again take this industry to a new level. Why? Because we are gamifying things that makes people want to learn. Why? They get rewarded. It's pretty cool to have these kind of free loyalty points that actually can be redeemed into real money. So that's cool. So thank you guys for listening into this, and we will see you around the world on the events. Looking forward myself, and I hope you guys have a fantastic Saturday. Use it wisely. Use it to spread the word about and information about what is possible in today's world and today's network marketing. And I see you guys that are qualified for the next call on the call in about 40 minutes actually. So thank you guys for today. See you soon. Cheers. Bye.